Hey everybody, I am back with another speed build. This is another installment in my After the Apocalypse series, so welcome for that. Luckily, this is a pretty short video and a small build, which is kind of nice because most of the things I've been doing lately have been pretty big, pretty large, and long. Yeah, very long. I'm thinking about my castles for my Disney series. If you haven't seen those, please go check them out. I like them a lot. And yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. Um, I have to say, okay, so in case you don't know, I always like to begin this. I am doing an the Apocalypse series, which includes a bunch of lots, both community and residential, that take place in a custom world for The Sims 3. Um, I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to go find that. It's called The Lost Cove. And what it is, it's an empty world where basically something very bad happened and now nothing is left. And there are buildings that are old and sunk into the ocean and things like that. It's really cool. So I've decided to just slowly repopulate this world with survivor residents and repurposed buildings. And that's exactly what this is. This is an old gas station. So this is based off of the typical kind of old Western American, very rural. Can I say that? Rural gas station. Sorry. Um, yeah, so that's what this is based off of. Actually, I mean, I looked up some images off of Google just to see like some reference for that kind of old gas station of what kind of shape they have. Um, and I kind of like did a mix and match, but the whole time that I was building this, for some reason all I could think of was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because like that has like a very similar look to it. And I actually think there is a gas station in that film. I don't think it looks exactly like this one, but like I don't know why, but like that's like what was on my mind. And I haven't seen that movie in a little while. um I am a super fan of horror movies, actually. I mean, most people are kind of surprised about that when I admit it. Horror is one of my favorite genres, actually. And I'm like, it's not like I'm like brave or anything. Like, I get genuinely scared. Like, I have like, and like, you know, if I'm watching it with a friend, I'm the person that has their like a death grip on my friend's arm. Like, I can't, I mean, they're super scary and I get so scared, but I still love them. Horror movies are like my thing, my jam. And horror games are even worse. Like, I will play horror games like obsessively, but like be shaking the whole time. It's probably really bad, but I don't know why, but they're just super fun for me. I love the whole genre. So yeah, so that's why I'm like I was thinking of Texas Chainsaw when I was building this. So basically, what this is that this old gas station here. It's, you know, it's old, it's run down, it's all that's left over, and the local residents that are the survivors, I should say, of the apocalypse that live here and are rebuilding their community are using this building as a kind of grocery store trading area. So yeah, so like basically they use this little location to come and barter. So like I have like the shelves that I put in later, but instead of like having just like old trash on the shelves, I put like flashlights and canned goods and fuel and stuff on. There they are. There's the shelves right there. Um, yeah, so I end up putting those items on there because those are the things that I imagine the survivors come and they're trading. And maybe there's one family or one person in particular that's taken over this grocery store, and they're like the chief of the bartering system. Like maybe they're the ones who help decide it all and bring a little bit of order to the community. Um, so that's what this is basically used as. I also make use of it's a certain set of custom content. What's it called? Rabbit hole rugs are what they're called. Sorry about that. So if you don't have those and you want to try to make your own community lots, I would recommend going and getting those. They're really, really, really handy. Because in case, I guess you don't know, or you've never tried to make a community lot before, um, what you would normally do to make a rabbit hole actually function is you would make the lot and you could make the building as cool or as intricate as you want. and you would have to make like maybe a secret basement basically, and you would have to take the community lot rabbit hole. So I guess just for this instance would be like the grocery store. I'm sorry. So you take the grocery store rabbit hole, which is, it's a big building. It's a giant object that has like a door, and your sim goes into there, and they're in the grocery, and you don't see them anymore. Um, and you'd have to basically hide that giant building object in that secret basement, and that was the only way that you could use a custom community lot, unless you still use that same building, of course, and just put different landscaping around it. But that's kind of boring, and also that would never fit in a world like this, especially. Um, so the rabbit hole rugs have the same exact functions as those buildings, but they're just rugs. They're little square rugs, and they're recolorable. So you put them down a lot, and the sim walks onto them and disappears, and that's like they're inside, quote unquote, the building. And then they just come back out, and then they've done their thing. So they can go visit City Hall, or going to school is a rug. So you could build your own school and just put like a little rug down, and that would function just perfectly. So that's what I've done for this slot. At first, or at least in the speed build itself, I have the rabbit hole rug inside the building, but after playtesting it, it turned out that for some reason the sim couldn't get into that. So I moved it outside and just kind of like made it blend in by putting some brambles on top of it. I mean, it's already an old build anyway, so I thought it worked out in the end. So that happens off screen though. So if you wanted to download the build, the rabbit hole is now outside on the ground because I wanted to make sure it was functional. I do always try to test all of my builds before I release them, if I release them at all, like if anyone actually wants them. If you really, really want something, or you want to see a certain build, make sure you say so in the comments down below. I, in general, don't put my builds up on like the Exchange or Sims Resource, basically because of file size. I love decorating. Decorating is probably one of my favorite parts of any build. Just making it look the way I want it to. So the actual building part is okay, but like decorating, putting that clutter in, I am addicted to it. You can tell by how many clutter items I have in my miscellaneous section that I'm scrolling through right now. Like, it is a massive amount, and it's because I love it, and I use it a lot, right? But because of all that stuff, my builds tend to get pretty big in file size, and because of that, especially the bigger builds, I cannot upload to the normal Sim sites because they have like a maximum file size amount. And I guess I could upload certain things unfurnished, but that kind of just takes it away because, like I said, the furnishings is kind of my favorite part, and it's kind of like the iconic parts of my build, of all of my builds, I should say. So I really don't like doing that. But yeah, if I do post them, I usually post a Mediafire link or something similar, and that's the way to go. So yeah, if you're really interested in getting these builds, let me know, and I will make sure to give you a link because I would love to share. I'd love to see any kind of gameplay and stuff like that. That would be really cool. Let's see, other than that, so this build is actually almost done. Like I said, this is pretty quick, which is nice because The Sims 3 in general takes a long time to build. Like, just from a couple things. From the inability to search through your objects. So again, I'm looking at you, my giant deco section, right? So that section is so big, if I had a search bar, like, that would be much easier. Collections are good too, but I have been so lazy. I have not put things into proper collections. I have before, and then I did actually have a bunch about a month ago, and I did something bad, and I had to reinstall my whole game, and I forgot to copy the collection files, and now I don't have my collection files anymore, and I've been too lazy to recreate them, which is terrible. But yeah. So because of the search menu and because of create a style, because create a style is my favorite thing in like the entirety of Sims 3 building. That, like, I cannot get over. I love create a style because you can do anything with it, and it's the best, and I am completely in love with it. So because of that though, it takes a long time to make any build. Like, so much longer than like Sims 4, for instance. It just takes a long time to build, but I love doing it, and I wouldn't want to give up certain parts of my build for pretty much anything, right? The other thing that I guess I wanted to mention in this build that was kind of particular was the use of the cars there. So most of the custom content that I've been using in my After the Apocalypse builds come from a modder called Granny Zaza, and that's where those cars come from as well. I would recommend going and checking her out. Her stuff is so cool, like such a talented modder. I can't ever get over her. But those cars they're technically sculptures, so that's where they're found. But the idea behind them was that when the apocalypse first started happening and people were panicking, like, what's the first thing you do? You try to, like, gather supplies and get out. I would consider it like you're preparing for, like, a hurricane, where you run to the grocery store and you get bottled water and you get gas from the gas station in this case, and you go up and fill some extra tanks and put them in the back of your truck and then run off. So the apocalypse happened and all these cars kind of swarmed to this tiny little gas station because it was like one of the only ones in the area. Poor thing, right? And maybe they ran out of gas or whatever, and now the cars were left behind. So they're all still out in the front lawn because where else were they going to go, right? So that's the idea behind them. But in the end, I think they actually end up looking really cool. So that's what this grocery store turned out as, the grocery gas station. If you want to go check out my other build or my other builds, please check out my channel. Drop me a like and let me know what you think. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye.